guys, welcome back to my channel. I am back with another review. This review is for Basketball Wives Season 10, Episode 13. So if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. Let's just get right into this episode because I was glad that Jackie finally put Brooke in her place. So Jackie ends up losing it on Brooke at dinner because Brooke would just not stop coming at her about Jackie not being truthful about where they were going to be staying on this girls trip. Now Jackie decided to plan this girls trip to Joshua Tree National Park, which is basically the desert in California, but Jackie was not truthful with the ladies about where they would be staying. She told them that they would be staying in a 4.5-star hotel, and obviously a lot of the ladies within this group is bougie, so they was not going to want to stay on Joshua Tree National Park where Jackie had them trying to stay at. And I agree with the ladies in the sense that I wouldn't have wanted to sleep there, but I would have enjoyed my time at the national park because it really has some beautiful scenery, and I feel like the ladies should have really soaked that in, but instead they were too busy complaining about where they were going to be staying.
For y'all. Get her broomstick.
No, I double dare.
You double dare what? You
I dare
double
you,
dare
Brooke.
bitch
I'm
to
right
what?
here, you motherfucking
No. When I realized that Jackie Christie is standing up from this table, I said, okay, there ain't no bitch about to stand over me.
No, you already dropped me. You got a glass in your hand. I'm one bitch. I'm not the one. Oh my God. I'm not the motherfucking one bitch. No, really? No, bitch. Jackie.
Honestly, don't understand why Brooke continued to complain all throughout the trip because she did end up booking the ladies a hotel, a really nice hotel at that, and Jackie was at first a little bit bummed that the ladies didn't want to stay at Joshua Tree National Park because that's what she had planned, but when she saw the hotel that Brooke booked for them to stay at, she thought it was beautiful and she felt like it was actually a good idea, and Jackie let it go. And sometimes that's Jackie's downfall, is that she's too forgiving to people. She lets people disrespect her continuously before she finally, takes a stand. And that's what was happening when it came to Brooke and some of the other ladies as well, because it wasn't just Brooke that was coming after Jackie. When they went to dinner that night, Brooke kept calling Jackie a liar. She just kept harping on the fact that Jackie wasn't honest about where they were going to be staying at. And I can understand the ladies being reluctant to trust Jackie when it comes to her planning activities or trips for them to go on because, Jackie doesn't have the best track record when it comes to those types of things. But I feel like Jackie was trying to be as calm as possible with Brooke and all the other ladies. She was trying to be nice, and we know that Jackie can really turn up on people. If you saw previous seasons of Basketball Wives, you can see that Jackie has calmed down a lot. But Brooke was really getting under Jackie's skin, and I commend her for holding her cool for as long as she did, but she ended up losing it on Brooke. They start arguing, yelling back and forth. Jackie stands up, Brooke stands up, and then Jackie decides to flip this damn table over. She done destroyed the whole damn restaurant because she was getting into it with Brooke, and they definitely woke the sleeping dragon because Jackie has been calm for a few seasons now. She hasn't really turned up on anybody, but at this point, she was ready to give it to Brooke. And I felt like Brooke deserved that type of reaction because she just kept coming at Jackie. And I feel like she was coming at Jackie because she felt like maybe Jackie changed and Jackie's not going to turn up on her. But no, Jackie definitely turned all the way up. But she didn't turn up as much as she could have. Now, Jackie ends up going into the hotel and she calls up Malaysia and she starts crying and she's telling Malaysia how the ladies just kept coming at her and how Brooke was doing too much when it came to this whole trip situation. And I know that Malaysia was probably laughing in her head because she told Jackie not to go on no trip with those ladies, and that's the reason why Malaysia didn't come, because they kept attacking Malaysia all throughout this season. So you know that she wasn't going to end up showing up on this trip. And I know that once Jackie called her up and told her all the bullshit that went on with the other ladies within the group, I know Malaysia was happy as hell that she decided not to come. The next day, Jackie ends up doing this whole horseback riding activity for the ladies to do, and she says that everybody is invited to come except for Brooke. And I was like, I can understand why she doesn't want Brooke to come. All Brooke does is complain. But Brooke ends up showing up anyway because she says that it's her idea because she's the one who's taking over Jackie's trip. And I thought it was really rude and disrespectful of Brooke to say that she was going to take over Jackie's trip. If she doesn't like the way that Jackie's running things on this trip, she could easily just go home and dismiss herself. At the end of this episode, Jackie decides to throw Brandy this all-white surprise party, and she did it because she knows that Brandy is still hurting about the passing of her father, and so she really wanted to cheer her up and let her know that she had support from the rest of the ladies in the group. But I was a little bit surprised that Jackie decided to do this celebration for Brandy, because the way that Brandy treated Jackie when Jackie brought her to this tarot card reading was really rude and disrespectful. Like, granted, I can see from Brandy's point of view where Jackie went wrong. Jackie should have told her that she was bringing her to this tarot card reading, so that if that wasn't a part of Brandy's belief system, she could have told Jackie that she was not going to go, but done it in a respectful way. Instead, Brandy decided to flip out on Jackie when she arrived at the tarot card reading in front of the tarot card reader. She started calling Jackie all types of names. She went back to the hotel, and then she started talking shit about Jackie with Brooke. So I felt like Brandy was being really disrespectful, but I still think it was nice of Jackie to throw her this celebration to cheer her up and let her know that she has support from Jackie and the other ladies in the group. What I didn't like at the end of this episode was that Jackie and Brooke ended up making up, and it wasn't the fact that they made up that pissed me off at the end of this episode, but it was the fact that Jackie was the only one to apologize, and she apologized first. The only thing I feel like Jackie should have apologized for was not being truthful about where they were going to be staying, because Jackie did tell them that they were going to be staying in a 4.5-star hotel, and that wasn't the case. That's the only thing Jackie needed to apologize for. Her flipping out on Brooke was not something she needed to apologize for, because Brooke was antagonizing her and had been antagonizing her since they got on the trip. So I feel like Brooke should have been the one to apologize. And see, that's the thing that I don't like. Brooke was able to get away with disrespecting people all throughout the season, starting trouble, throwing shit at people, and she didn't face any consequences, but other people had to face the consequences of her, because we have not seen the twins since that episode where they got into that fight in Vegas. And I know that it's a liability because of the fact that, you know, one of the twins threw a glass bottle and it ended up hitting Brandy in the head, but they weren't the ones who started the fight. It was Brooke and Duffy that started throwing things first, but yet they weren't the ones to get reprimanded, but the twins were. So for me, I just felt like Jackie should not have apologized to Brooke. So those are my thoughts on this week's episode of Basketball Wives. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button for me. I appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos and hit the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed to my channel. I appreciate you all. And until next time, I will talk to you guys in my next video.